Hey guys, welcome back to the My PHI Games History and Reviews, and today we have an album review. And yeah, so let's get right into it. Okay, so how this works is that so these albums that I just recently listened to, and so I have a good idea about what they sound like, kind of thing. Also, I rate them from 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, 3 is like my happy medium. So yeah, so first we have Samantha 7. So this is C.C. DeVille's, the guitarist of Poison solo band. This came out in 2000, and so there was no big songs off of this, well, to my knowledge. And well, the thing is, it was a very short album. So, as I was saying, all the songs in here are actually pretty short. Like, I want to say 2 minutes long. Like, it just felt like right when I put this album in, I was done with it. So, but it was a really good album, and I would give it a 3 out of 5. So next we got Ricky Rocket, A Glitter for Your Soul. This is the drummer of Poison. This is his only solo album that I know of. And so this came out in 2008, and so this is actually all covers. Like Actions by Sweet Fame, if I remember correctly, is David Bowie. Do You Want to Touch Me? I think Joan Jett did that. Elected was Alice Cooper. And so yeah, he did the drums for the whole album, and then he has different singers and stuff. So overall, this is actually it is a really good album. I liked it a lot. I'll give it a 4-star review. Next we have Poison's Hollywood. I'm not showing the cover because it's kind of inappropriate. And so this came out in 2002. I don't know of any big songs over here. And this was okay. I'll give it like a 2. Like, I didn't enjoy it. Like, it was just okay. Okay, so this is actually my all-time favorite Poison album, Poisoned. This came out in 2007. And it's all covers. So they have, like, The Cars, David Bowie, Alice Cooper, Tom Petty, the other Romantics, Rolling Stones, The Cars, Kiss, The Who, and Grand Funk Railroad. And so, all-time favorite Poison song is Little Willie. I've always liked that since I was just a little kid, like 2007. Probably would have been 3 when I first heard that song, and ever since then, I've just loved it. So, that's my all-time favorite Poison album. Just so that means I'm getting it a 5. So next up, Bret Michaels, Rock My World. This came out in 2008. And I don't know of any big songs off of here, but this was a pretty okay album. I didn't mind it, and yeah, it's kind of all I have about the song. I give it like a 1 or a 2. So next up, Bret Michaels, Custom Built. This came out in 2010, and I do really like that motorcycle in the background, you know, like with the white wall tires with the red inside. I think that's pretty cool. Same thing. Don't know if I don't think any of these songs were big. Yes, it came out in 2010. I'll give this like a 1 and 2. Next, got Bret Michaels, Jamming with Friends. Out of the last 3 Bret Michaels ones I just talked about, this is probably the best one. Mostly because it has a lot of people on here. Well, he also just redid a lot of he did a whole bunch of Poison songs, but with other people instead of Poison. Like he had like Jimmy Buffett, some members of Lynyrd Skynyrd, and a 38 Special, Ace Frehley, Ace Frehley from Kiss, Michael Anthony from Van Halen. So yeah, it's actually a pretty interesting album. I liked it, and so I said this my favorite one out of the 3 that we just talked about. But still, I'll give it a 2. So here's probably the most famous album out of the CDs for today. It's Prince, Purple Rain. It's probably one of the greatest soundtrack albums of all time. This came out in 1984, and just judging by the inside and things, it's probably a original 1984 Prince Purple Rain CD. Yeah, so CDs came out CDs have actually been around since the 70s, but they didn't come out until like 1980, like early 80s is when they came out. But only a handful of people started buying them at first because they're expensive, and there wasn't many songs for them, and they're way bigger than cassette tapes too. But soon they just got cheaper. They kind of figured out you can put more like music on a CD than a cassette tape. So then more people would start buying them, and just slowly cassette tapes kind of went out of fad. I guess. Yeah, is it fad? Is that what they say? I don't know. They just slowly just went away. So Prince Purple Rain, probably the biggest song on here was Let's Go Crazy, or the song Purple Rain. When the Doves Cry was a big song. I Will Die For You is a big song. Computer Blue I like a lot. And 2, I'm trying to remember how number 2 goes, but this already is just 5-star review. It's a great album. I like the cover a lot. I really like that motorcycle. And so this is actually a soundtrack to his movie Purple Rain 2. So very great. I have not seen the movie, but great soundtrack. Really good soundtrack. So I said I'm done with the CDs, but we're just getting started on vinyls. So this is Elvis Aloha from Hawaii via satellite. This came out in 1972, and actually this is one of the first things we broadcasted by satellite, and like TV. And also, this actually got more viewers than the moon landing, which is pretty impressive. And so here's the back, and this is We Love Elvis in a whole bunch of different languages, and only to go inside, it's We Love Elvis in almost every language possible. But the thing is, Hawaii was, other than Elvis being in the military, Hawaii was kind of the farthest that, Hawaii is actually the farthest that Elvis went to go tour in. He never toured out of seas, like in Mexico or Europe or anything. He always stayed in the U.S. A lot of people think this because a lot of people think Colonel Tom Parker was actually an illegal immigrant from the Netherlands. So that's why they think he never booked anything outside the U.S. And then Elvis never left the U.S. And I'm just looking at this map, of the U.S., and surprisingly, they didn't put Memphis down. Don't know why. But, yeah. So, the sleeve is actually kind of a cool sleeve. There's kind of 2 different ones. So you have the one with him with a bunch of Hawaiian girls on it. Then you have this, and it kind of shows the, kind of to promote his next live album. Same with the other one. It's just the exact same. Vinyl, it's not really missing much. Here's the song list. This is side 3, and he did a Welcome to My World, which I do have another version of that, which we reviewed in the previous episode with Eddie Arnold with his album, his version of Welcome to My World. Also, yeah, that would be interesting. And then here's some other songs. And you have Long Toss Sally, which is by Little Richard, who just died. Well, when this comes out in December, like January of next year, he would have been dead almost a year. About 6 months. I'm filming this in June. He just died. Okay. And then you have A Whole Lot of Shaking Going On by Jerry Lee Lewis, who is still alive as of June 3rd, 2020, 2019. Oh my gosh. And yeah, side 2. I'm just showing the track listings. Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry. It's Over. I don't know. Blue Suede Shoes. That's nice. Carl Perkins. My Way, which is which was actually done by Frank Sinatra, who, and surprisingly, Frank Sinatra, he hated rock and roll music, but him and Elvis like besties, and actually saved Elvis from getting mobbed on his honeymoon by landing in a nearby field in Palm Springs, and Frank Sinatra, Elvis, and Priscilla got on a plane and went to Las Vegas for the honeymoon, and yeah. And also, other ones on the back, you have C.C. Rider, which was actually done by a dude who actually recorded under Sun Records back in the 50s. It was actually 2 C's. Actually like 2 letter C's and then Rider. Then it was later redone by the Animals, who are known for singing House of the Rising Sun in the late 60s as C.C. Rider, which we all, you see someone, Rider. So yeah. Then you have Something, which is by George Harrison, off of which is a Beatles cover. Elvis would actually like the Beatles a lot and would mention them as one of his favorite bands. And he would actually do a Hey Jude cover too, which I do have in my music collection, and we will get to that eventually and talk about that. And then also have the 21 Space Odyssey sound from the movie 21 Space Odyssey. So, yeah. And 21 Space Odyssey was actually the first licensed that comic that Marvel did. So, yeah, fun fact. Okay, next we have Duran Duran Notorious. So this was Duran Duran's last major big album in the 1980s. Came out, and look on the back, 1986. And my mom was a huge Duran Duran fan, so this is actually a original 1986 Duran Duran album. And my mom didn't like it at all, so it stayed in the plastic. So this is actually the original plastic from the 1980s too. Yeah, fun fact. Okay. And also that girl was actually used in the Notorious music video. Track listings, the only big thing on here is Notorious, but I do like the song Hold Me, Vertigo, and The Proposition. And so this is actually recorded under EMI. And a fun fact from EMI, before the Beatles, the EMI was actually the only British record label that was not owned by an American record label. Fun fact. So here's the sleeve. I've always thought this was a pretty cool sleeve. And also you get a better, you can see the songs better. There you go. And also this is actually so this is actually the first Duran Duran album that did not have all the original members from the band. A lot of them actually left after the last one, which we will talk about next. Not next, but coming up soon. If it's not in this video or the next video. And also, fun fact, me and Simon Le Bon share the same birthday, so, yeah, fun fact there. Yeah. So here's the vinyl record. It's just the same thing on the back, too. And so, yeah. So, now I also gotta say for the Elvis, it's a 5-star review. It's probably my best favorite sounding Elvis. So back to this one. Review, guys. It's a pretty okay album. Like I say, I don't like those 4 songs. And, yeah, I'll just give it like a 3-star review. It's okay. It's not amazing. It's not, Duran Duran's not performing to the best of their abilities in this, I don't think. But, like, it could have been better. And also, I don't think it's as good, because Duran Duran, it was more like a pretty laid-back album. It wasn't as good as the other ones, so it's a slower pace, and not as, like, fast-paced kind of thing. Next, I have Duran Duran Rio, and from my knowledge, this is an original Duran Duran Rio. This came out in I can't find a date. 1982. And this is actually probably like one of my favorite album covers of all time, because I think it's really cool. Like I like the red and stuff, and yeah. So track listings on the back, you probably recognize like Rio is big. Basically, this whole album's awesome. Like basically, this whole album is like on the greatest hits album. My and what's also weird is that I do actually have the CD of Rio too, but this compared to the CD is so different. Like the Hold Back the Rain is more techno-y on the CD, but this is actually more guitar. It sounds 10 times better on the vinyl than on the CD. Like this whole album sounds a whole bunch better on the CD. I meant on the vinyl than the CD, which is kind of crazy. So now I have this old record player. It's almost turning 40 years old. It's almost getting there. 30, 40 years old. It probably played this like every other day back in the 80s. It's an old one. And I'm looking to actually get a new one. And it's by is like Attacker or something like that. I don't know. I forgot the name of the company, but I just looked it up because it's probably the best one out there. But it actually has a software in it so that you can plug it into your computer and it'll download your vinyls as audio files. So I think that would be kind of cool because I have a lot of albums that I can't find on CD anywhere, and like that Eddie Arnold that I just did in the last video, like I can't find that on CD anywhere. Kind of surprisingly, can't find that anywhere. And a couple other ones that I wish I could find, but I just can't. They just never made them a CD. And because it's CD, the only way you can actually get them on is by burning them on. Unlike cassette tapes, you record. Vinyl, well, it's hard just to get it on vinyl, but yeah, if you get on cassette tapes, you can at least bring it places with you if you're like a Walkman or something. But yeah. Also, basically this whole album is big. You know, like Rio, which almost anyone knows. Rio, My Way, a good song. Lonely Nightmare, Hungry Like the Wolf is the other big song. Like two of the biggest songs that Duran Duran has is on this album. Then you have Hold Back the Rain, which is my all-time favorite Duran Duran song. The New Religion, Last Chance on Stay Away, Save a Prayer. The Chauffeur is also a big song too. Don't watch the music video. Yeah. So let's try to take this out. So you can tell there's a lot of wear because it's been used so much, and this is actually taped too. So yeah. So there's all the lyrics and stuff. There's a picture of the band on the other side. But actually, so see right here. See, it has a little thing right here. So that right there is actually a good example of why you kind of. So it's an inner sleeve for the inner sleeve, kind of. So what you do, put the record in, then in this sleeve, it's a clear plastic sleeve, and you put it in. It helps with the static. And if I remember, I could put down like a link in the description below to like I guess like an Amazon. I guess I can find this one on Amazon. It's pretty good. You get 50 of them. And if you're a vinyl collector, I can put that in. I can put a link in the description below of the record player. Well, of the record player, I'll go find the record player. Then I can also put a link in the description below for the sleeves too. And so what they do, they take the static, so they're called anti-static sleeves. So they actually take the static out. So, well, it makes the record not sound as staticky when playing. That's what it supposedly does. So let's take the record out quick. So it's kind of hard to do it with one hand. But here's side 1. Here's side 2. Kind of the same thing. But yeah, it's in really good shape. And yeah, it's a great album. Give it a 5-star review. So next we have Duran Duran 7 in the Rag Tiger. So this is the last Duran Duran album with all original members of the band. And yeah. So here's the back. You get you can somewhat see the track listing. The biggest song off here is the Reflex, which is actually just a big Duran Duran song in general. New Moon Monday is a good one. And the Union of the Snake is another big one. Let's pop this open. So we have like the Egyptian kind of vibe feel to this. To me, you do. So this is the whole track listing and things. So this was by thought. Like, so yeah. So I've the me for Duran Duran. Like, I like the first 4 albums. Other than that, I do have the Wedding album on CD. But other than that, I just don't really like it. But plus, I haven't really heard, I guess, played it. And I also have the Duran Duran album Paper Gods, which is the newest one, on CD too. So this is the album, not much here. This I'll give a 3-star review. Songs have Def Leppard, Pyromania. Great album. I love the cover a lot. So this is actually an original rapping too, because I can tell it says Kmart. And it has all the whole thing on it too. It includes the photo, so I guess you have a good idea. Back is pretty cool too, so his track listing. And the drummer, from my knowledge, still has his arms, because, well, if you don't know what happened, the drummer over there got in a car accident and lost one of his arms. So he plays drums with one arm. So he has like a modified drum kit and stuff. So you have Rock Rock Toe Drop, good song, Photograph, probably one of the most famous songs. Stage Fright, which is a good one. Too Late for Love is a good one. Foolin', Rock of Ages, great song. Foolin's a really good song too. And so basically, so this whole album, album is really good, great album. Sadly, there's no inner cover, but you do get a pretty good idea on what one of these anti-static ones look like. Here's what they look like. So it's just like this. Well, this isn't like the one that I have, but yeah, this is what anti-static one looks like. I'm not going to take it out, just because it just takes a while. But yeah, here's the record and everything. This is pretty good shape, and sounds pretty good. I actually got this at a antique mall, actually. There's like this one booth in this antique mall outside of, I was just like on the interstate, called Brass Armadillo. It's a great antique mall, so if you're ever in town, which is Omaha, you have to go stop there if you like vinyls. And so there's this one booth there, and they actually, like most of the time you go to the booth, it's all the same records. Like you probably see the same like Andy Williams record like 6 times, but here they actually have like big records. Like I got Van Halen from the Kiss. I got Def Leppard. In the last episode, the AC/DC Dead Deeds Done Dead Cheap. I got that there too. So most of my vinyls actually come from antique malls. I have not bought a vinyl from my record store, except George Harrison Cloud 9, which I bought just brand new. It's just a reissue at Barnes & Nobles. But other than that, I have not bought a vinyl from a record store. All my vinyls have actually come from antique malls, except the reissued ones. But other than that, the rest have. So I'll give this a 5-star review. Yeah, so I got more Elvis. So if you're a big Elvis fan, you would recognize this. And right now, you're probably going nuts at the fact that I just have one. This is Elvis' second album, and they wrote on it. See, this is $18 right there. They wrote on it, so I'm mad about that. So here's the nice track listings. Rip Me Up, good song. A Long Toss Sally, he redid it from Little Richard. Paralyzed, good song. Old Shep is a good song. Ready Teddy, Aim Places Paradise, and How Do You Think I Feel. All good songs. Here's the back. And it doesn't give a year. Actually, yeah, 1956. So I actually got this in Columbus, Nebraska at an antique mall. And so there's only really 2 antique stores in Columbus. So it's just like I wasn't that surprised that I found like some this vinyl there, because kind of the grim part of things. Like, you have to think, yeah. So just the fact that I found this was just pretty awesome, actually. So let me take the sleeve out, and I'll be right back. So you can tell this has actually been used a lot, just looking at the cover. But so I'll say Victor gives you how to do it, and it says this record is designed to give you many years of trophy listening pleasure. Yeah, it's given me almost 70 years of 60 years. 70 years of it, so yeah, it's been going pretty good. I think it's 65 next year. That's how old this record would be, which is nuts. So it actually gives you like what to do if you own records. So it says, records may be cleaned with a lint-free damp cloth. Always stack them sideways or upright. I stack mine upright because if you stack them, they kind of get that. You can I think you kind of notice on some of the vinyls, you can kind of see the outline of the record. Yeah, that's what's happening, and then get warped too. And always handle without touching the playing surfaces, which I don't get how you can do, because it's really hard just trying to get it into a sleeve, even the inner sleeve at least, and just taking it out. It's just like So here's the record, but then it says a lot about like the 50s and stuff, but yet it says stereo. But I thought stereo kind of started coming in the 60s, so I don't really know about that. So yeah, so this is the ones that you can get offline, like this for a couple bucks. Here's side 2. So I always like the dog, and you can tell it looks old, and just by how it feels. Like, look, there's no boundness whatsoever, and just by looking at the sides, it's super thick, as you can see by the sides. So this is actually a really good record, and I don't know like what it dated, but I think this might be a 1956 original. Just kind of judging about like what I all have here. And just kind of by the, like aging and wear, I'm assuming it's a 1956 record. So I will give this record a 4-star review. Well, I know it was his second album, but other than the songs I listed, the other songs are not that good. Old Chef is kind of him, is. It's a different song kind of thing. It's my favorite Elvis song out there, but yeah, it's a pretty okay album. I like it a lot. So it's pretty okay. So this is probably by far my second favorite Elvis album of all time. My first favorite we actually get to the next episode, but this is 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong. This is Elvis Golden Hits Volume 2, and this is like probably one of the most iconic Elvis covers of all time. Well, yeah, one of the most iconic album covers of all time. And what's sad is they actually had it on the back, but there's this picture of Elvis on the back. So I also got this at the exact same antique mall, and so I got like a whole bunch of Elvis. So I got like 4 Elvis records from the exact same antique mall in downtown Omaha. It's this great little place, and it's like they have everything, like furniture, anything you want. They even have marble countertops, but they had this big record section, and it wasn't like, like records like the same Andy Williams one over and over again. They had a whole bunch of like famous ones like Bad Company. They had Elvis. They actually had original White Album, but I didn't get it because the White Album had turned brown. I don't want a brown White Album, so instead I went to Target and bought a $50 White Album, which I reviewed in the last video. But, so you can tell that this is a sticker that was put on after the person bought the album. And see this kind of ring? So this ring around it also means that it was stored, like, with those kind of stacked up over there for a long time. So, let me pop this open quick, and I just kind of came with this blank sheet of paper. Don't know what that is. I'm just going to set that over there. Gee, look at that. Okay. So this came out in 1959, and from my knowledge, this is an original 1959. 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong. Got this for $9. and I was in a record store in Palm Springs, and they had this exact same one for $200. So I just knocked off like $191. So if I say it's original, because unlike the last one, it says long play, and it doesn't mention anything about stereo. So big songs on here was Need Your Love Tonight. It was like a personal favorite. Wear My Ring Around Your Neck. My Wish Came, well, I Got Stung was another good one too. Then you also have on the other side, One Night, which is an Elvis #1, Big Hunk of Love, another #1, A Big View's a good one. Now and Then Is a Fool Such as I, which is another #1, and then Don't You Think It's Time, which is another Elvis #1. So, I'm just going to decide because this cover is so amazing. So this actually came out while Elvis was in the army, and she kind of, and Tom Parker kind of came out with these. It was kind of to ensure Elvis did not go away, kind of thing, and that, and so he kind of came out these to kind of keep him alive. So when he came back, he still had a big career, and also #1s, and it worked. So yeah, so I think I'll just end it here. This is in 30 minutes. So I'd like to know what your favorite album is, and so I'd like to know what your favorite album is. If you have any cool facts or stories about these albums, put it down in the comments below. And if you agree with me on some of these, and if you don't, put it in the comments below. So also, if you have any comments, complaints, questions, and to the questions being asked, good job, great video. Put it in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!